Thanks for jumping on here if you are. Got my insert your eye roll here coffee mug.
I
Not too
just
full,
found
but
your
full enough for that second
black.
cup. Carissa, good morning. What mug are you featuring this Monday?
Just the best to ever do it. A nice plain Jane
Yeah,
black mug.
looks like it holds a
I think
good
I
amount
got
of
it for free
coffee.
somewhere.
Putting it to good use, I would imagine, on this Monday. How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. What did I do? Oh, I went home. I celebrated my little brother's birthday with my family, so that was fun.
Not just any birthday, a very momentous birthday
It
for
was
your
the
little brother,
big
right?
2-1. Yeah, and I said on Friday, but all he wanted to do was sit on the front porch and drink scotch. So he has a very expensive taste for being the ripe
Wow.
age of 21.
You know, I'm not trying to imply anything, or maybe I am, but I'm going to say that most 21-year-olds don't jump into the drinking game straight to scotch,
I
usually.
know, and I really don't know if maybe he'll even stick with it. I don't think he really enjoyed it. I think it was just the principle of just drinking scotch and feeling so, I don't know, high and mighty.
I'm just
I'm
saying
not
he
sure.
might have perhaps consumed an adult beverage prior to that actual birthday.
Oh,
It's
wait, what did you
possible.
say? Sorry.
He might have had a drink before he actually got to his 21st birthday. I'm
No,
just
I
saying.
don't know. I don't ask questions.
Yeah, exactly. No, that would be illegal. So, yeah, we couldn't accuse him of anything like that. But all right,
Do
let's
I
bring the man of Saturday into the mix anyway. David Walter, good morning, sir. Wow, are we loving things over the at least first half of the week? And then yesterday wasn't even too bad once we kind of got rid of that rain, which is really desperately needed. We were following those fires over in Warren County late last week, and I'm sure those crews, David, needed some of that wet stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. I tried to put the weather in perspective this morning. Not as bad, but as something that's going to help green the grass a little bit, add a little bit more moisture out there, and also flush some of that pollen out. I've noticed some of my patio furniture, at least this one little table we have, it's black, and there's a little bit of dust, a little bit of pollen dust accumulating on it. So it's that time of year when I step outside. I know when I've been outside for too long because I start sneezing. But at the same time, how can you not go outside when the weather's so great?
Oh, it was tremendous. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. The lawns need a little bit of water just to get going. I mean, nobody's really itching to get out there and start mowing the grass anytime soon, but it's gonna, it's not gonna grow very well unless we get
Right, right.
some rain, which was nice to see. And
Yeah,
I
you
think the timing of the rain wasn't too horrible, mostly during the overnight. So
Oh no, yeah, it wasn't problematic at all. And even today, I mean, it's going to be a little wet in those grassy spots, but if you're looking to get outside, you'll still have your opportunities. Right now, Doppler Max actually showing us some rain showers, and we'll have them around this morning into the early afternoon. Could linger away from the lakeshore as the day wears on, and we're kind of in a different mode now this week. We're in the cooler mode. Temperatures in the 50s, which actually I always put normal in quotes this time of year because being abnormal is what's normal. But if you look
Let's
at
say
the
there is no
average, if you look at the average temperature, the average high temperature, it's around 55. And that's kind of where we'll be at for the next few days. So it's Mother Nature's way of evening things out.
the
pretty steady.
rare the rare spring day where it's kind of like what we expect for spring.
Right. Yes. Yeah. A little wet out there helps you. I know I got some weeding to do at my house. The weeds like this weather. They're certainly sprucing up. So that's the one thing you can do to kind of prepare your lawn or prepare the garden. You can get out and do a little weeding, even though again the grass might be a little wet. If you don't mind getting a little muddy, then just do it.
And I think most gardeners are aware, that it's a little early to get going on all that stuff.
Right.
But I think you've got a lot of relatively new gardeners into the game from last year into this year, who, as we talked about with that report from Elspeth Miser this morning, they're kind of anxious to get going. But April 12th, maybe a little early.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
said we need more consistent weather to start
Right.
planting, which does make sense.
Right. Yeah. I mean, 87 degrees isn't going to stay consistently in early April.
Not
So
yet.
yeah,
Soon
we're
though, soon.
not yet. Yeah, we'll give it until we get into the summer, and I wouldn't be shocked if we had many days that were well above normal. Which during the summer our normal high is about 80 degrees, but we'll be above that several times. I'm already stating that for a fact. But yeah, Yeah, 80s down to 50s, not very consistent at all. So yeah, we typically have to give it into May, maybe even into June, depending on what you're actually planting. I'm no gardening expert, just like I'm no golf expert.
I
You
was
were
about to
watching
say
earlier.
that.
Yeah, I play around at 8 holes. No, but no says no one
Eight-
ever.
8 holes, nine
Yeah,
holes, 7
but
holes.
but at the same time, maybe you're so frustrated that you quit after the 8th hole, and
I
so
would
that
like to count my score from 8 holes as being for 18 holes. That would probably work out for me.
right. I would
Yeah,
just be
Mark, did you get out on the green this weekend?
Yeah, yes, we did on Saturday. And, it was, I think for this time of year, it was weird. Like, it's almost dry. And for a golf course to be dry in April is just crazy. So, yeah, I think, some of these courses that do have irrigation are probably already putting it to use, which is typically not the case in April. But, yeah, so, I think the weather was great for any of that sort of stuff. David, are you able to give us a look at the 7-day or the week ahead as far as those outdoor opportunities go moving forward?
No, you have to stay tuned to Erie News Now at noon.
Ah, okay, that's right.
I'll be nice. I'll show it. I will show it. But yeah, this weekend was awesome to get outside. Took Lainey to Presque Isle. She loves the rocks.
Frontier Park too, you said, right? Or was that yesterday?
What's that?
Frontier Park, you said, or was that
Yeah,
yesterday?
that was yesterday. If you get a chance, if you're big on trees, if you just love to watch them bloom, I know it's not quite like Washington D.C., but head out to Frontier Park. They've got a lot of magnolia trees, and if you've ever seen them bloom, they're beautiful. I mean, they got big flowers on them, and we were certainly enjoying the nice weather this past weekend, taking the sights of Erie during the spring.
But it's kind of looks like a steady kind of, we talked about what we expect for this time of year, and at least when I saw your 7-day, I didn't see any major surprises headed our way.
Yeah, for now.
No, nothing too big. Temperatures will be pretty steady in the middle and upper 50s. 58 doesn't feel too bad when you have some sunshine. We'll get a little bit of that on Tuesday. Even today, we're going to have those peaks of sunshine. It may break through a little bit better during the afternoon. And then as we head towards Wednesday, not looking at much rain, a little cooler on Thursday. Then as we jump into the weekend, that's the reason why we have a 7-day forecast. It always puts the weekend in view, regardless of what day of the week it is. So 60 on Saturday as you're looking to plan ahead. Right now, I got small rain chances for Sunday. We'll see if have to up that, but I'm going to keep it on the conservative side for now. And 56 degrees is roughly where, again, we should be for this time of year. So this 7-day isn't too bad. As a matter of fact, yesterday I got reminded on my phone of a year ago yesterday, and we had snow. We had some April snow, so we know what's possible this month. We can see snow, and we saw some for April Fool's Day. But the way the trend is going, it is hard to get snow for the second part of April into May. But don't count out Mother Nature here.
But it's not impossible.
Nothing's impossible when it comes to weather here in Northwest Pennsylvania.
Yeah, this past month or so has definitely proven that from several different times over. Very special day for us here at Erie News Now, guys. A little bit later on, we're about a little less than 2 hours away now from a dedication ceremony happening right outside of our building. Behind our studios here off of State Street, there is a road that runs behind our station. We use it a lot of our company, our employees get in and out of the building by using this road, and the city is renaming that one a little later this morning in honor of late sports director Gary Drapshaw, who passed away just about 1 year ago. And of course, we have been, like so many other folks who lost family members and loved ones along the way, been struggling for a way to honor those folks here in the midst of the ongoing pandemic. And so that's what we're doing for Gary, our beloved sports director, renaming the road right behind our station, Drapshaw Way, in just about 2 hours' time.
Yeah, if you missed our Molly Morrow's report this morning, it's just a great way to celebrate Gary. And I mean, he was here for 36 years or so. Mark, I know you worked closely with him a lot, so It's very special. I was very fortunate to meet him my first year working here, so I was very lucky.
Yeah, and I remember one of the last things Gary said to me was, I asked him if he was kind of bummed out that sports were getting canceled. And yeah, I learned down the road it kind of took a toll on him. But at the same time, he always came in with a positive mindset. Yeah. Like if he could think of things on the bright side, he would do that. And I just remember him saying, it stinks that I'm reporting news stories, but at the same time, everybody's going through this. I still have a job and very, appreciative of things. And that's kind of how based on all the stories I've heard of Gary, I mean, that's kind of his legacy. And even when I had and when I had to fill in a few times during the evening hours, I'm not putting down anybody, but it seemed like Gary brought like this different dynamic to the newscast. He brought this because Mark and Brissa, you have to report a lot of, morbid news and stuff like that. But with sports, I mean, you could tell he just loved it.
Yeah. He was so passionate.
Exactly. I don't think there was an unimportant game to Gary Drapshow. You know what I mean? Because when you're covering sports in a town like Erie, you could be at the CYO championships for sixth graders one day, and then maybe over in Cleveland or Pittsburgh talking to some NFL players or some Major League Baseball players on the next day. And he treated all of those athletes, all those contests, all those stories with the same level of importance. And I think over the course of 36 years, as you mentioned, Brissa, people remember that. And I think that's one of the many reasons why we loved Gary so much, and one of the reasons we're going to honor him a little bit later this morning.
And celebrate him.
Yeah.
Celebrate Gary.
2020, in case you didn't know, really stunk, but today's gonna be a good day.
Yeah. I can feel it. We got good weather.
Yeah, we got decent weather.
Okay.
There might be a little rain, but hey, we need it. I don't think Gary wouldn't complain about it. He'd still go out and one thing, that is one thing I learned about Gary is that he treated everything like it was the Super Bowl, because for those athletes and for those parents, it was. I mean, that is their big game. And so why not cover it like it's the biggest event of the day?
Yep. And that's what he did. And that's what hopefully will give him back some of that same love and he gave affection to every story when we do that dedication, renaming the street behind our station, Drapshow Way, a little bit later on this morning. And of course, we'll have full coverage of that coming up for you on later editions of Erie News Now. And we'll be back on the air tomorrow morning. It is a 5 a.m. start time for Erie News Now Sunrise. Everybody who jumped on Facebook, thanks so much for doing that. Brissa, David, thank you for hanging out and conversing over the course of the last 10 minutes. We'll do it again tomorrow. See you then.